Hi, I'm Nancy Shaw with Healthy Living. Today we're excited to have a guest, Stacy Hogan. Stacy is going to be teaching a yoga class for us. And so hopefully you can find some peace in your day and enjoy Stacy's class. So thank you for joining us, Stacy.
Glad to be here.
And go ahead and get started.
All right. As Nancy said, my name is Stacy, and I am grateful for the opportunity to guide you through a seated yoga class today. We're going to run approximately 30 minutes, and we want to make this accessible to everybody. That is why I will remain seated in the chair throughout the entire practice, but I invite you to make this your own. So if at any point you feel like you need a little more activity, a little more dynamic movement, most of the class can be done from a standing position. So I invite you to do whatever your body's calling for you to do, and we'll go ahead and get started. If you do have a block or a stable stack of books, I invite you to grab that now. Also encourage you to have a water bottle or something nearby. Finding ourselves seated in our chair or on the floor in just a relaxed position. We can rest our hands on our thighs and maybe close our eyes if we're comfortable doing so. Otherwise, just looking down towards the floor, softening our gaze through, kind of like looking through our eyelashes. And we'll just begin to bring our attention to our breath. And if accessible to us, breathing in and out through our nose. And this can sometimes be the hardest part of yoga for people, is taking the time to turn slightly inward and focusing on the breath. Now we'll begin to imagine that we have a balloon in our lower belly, approximately 3 fingers south of the belly button. And we'll just begin to take our breath down into the belly. Noticing the rise and fall of the belly. And we'll begin to grow the breath. Filling the belly, and next time filling our ribs, filling them out through the sides and also in the back. So breathing into the belly, breathing into the rib cage. And growing the breath one more time as we fill the belly. Fill the ribs, and this time filling all the way to the top of our throat. And equally important, letting a full exhale out. Continuing on your own, filling the belly, then the ribs, and then the chest. With a complete exhale, gentle and relaxed. On your next exhale, letting go of any tension, any stress, any thoughts of future or past, to be in the present. Returning to our normal breath. We'll begin at our toes and begin a scan of the body, moving up from our toes to the top of our head. And without judgment, just noticing any feelings or sensations in the body. Any areas of tightness or restriction. Maybe breathing a little relaxing breath in those areas, but also noticing any areas of lightness and openness. And feeling grateful for those areas as well. One more nice big breath in once we reach the top of our crown of our head. A nice gentle full exhale out as we let go of any expectations of what our practice should look like. Expectations of what we think our body should be able to do in our practice, meeting our body where it is today, listening and feeling. As we gently open our eyes, hopefully feeling a little more relaxed and a little more centered. We're going to move to the front of our chair, if we're on a chair. We're going to find a tall mountain. So grounding, anchoring into our feet. Our knees are above our ankles. Our spine is long, imagining a string from the tailbone coming out the crown of our head. We'll just begin to do some shoulder circles. Moving slow with control. I'm trying to move slow. And on our next shoulder circle, we're going to come up, bring our shoulders back, and slide the shoulder blades down the back of the rib cage. And gently anchor them into place. And from here, we'll go ahead and raise our hands and circle our wrists. Some gentle movement here. Our belly is softly firm. We'll open and close our fingers. Maybe even do a little finger tap. Doing what feels comfortable to you. We're placing our hands back on we can use our hand as we lift our left foot, circling the ankle. And remembering to go in both directions, pointing and flexing, embracing all the snap, crackle, and pop. And we'll release that foot down and move to the other side. This side always cracks a little more for me than the other. And with both feet on the mat, we're going to pull our toes up and squish the toes as if we're trying to bring a towel or blanket or something. Again, lifting the toes, stretching the toes. So if you are in shoes and it's accessible to you, I really encourage you to remove the shoes so you can be grounded with the earth. Make that connection between the receptors in our feet and the ground. All right. From here, we're keeping our hands maybe on our hips. We're just going to work on our base of support, establishing where we're comfortable moving in as we shift our weight front to back. And only going to the place of comfort and safety for you. After going front to back a couple times, we'll go side to side. Again, remaining rooted through our sit bones and staying within our safety zone. And maybe now we go a little diagonal. Just noticing the shift of the body, shift of our weight. Do one more each side. Returning center. Now we're going to go ahead and move into some circles. Again, keeping both sit bones grounded. And reversing directions. As we come back center, we're going to bring our hands to heart center, taking a moment, again, finding ourselves grounded, supported by the chair, supported by the earth. Feeling that grounding throughout the body. As we inhale, arms up, lengthen, exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to move with our breath, one movement. So this would be at your pace, lengthening through the side bodies. Inhale as we expand. Exhale, contract. And again, this could be done standing or seated. Resting, bringing our hands back to heart center. We'll move our hands to our thighs, opening our feet. So if we're standing, our toes would be to the long edge of the mat. We're scooting to however far we feel we can, safely and remaining supported. Being nice and tall here, we're going to move into some seated sunflowers. So inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, we hinge from the hips, pinky to pinky. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we sink. Again, that belly is gently firm. Our feet are grounded into the earth, whether we're standing or seated. A couple more here. Do one more. And on our exhale, we'll bring our hands back to our thighs, lengthening through our spine as we slowly release towards the earth for a standing straddle or seated straddle. And we can use our block here to keep that spine nice and long. And maybe we want to bring one hand to the center of the block, and the other hand to our thigh as we twist to look over that top shoulder. And we'll release that side, and maybe we move to the other. If we did so on one, we want to balance on, do the same on the other. Returning back to center, maybe sinking just a tiny bit deeper. And as we rise up, we're going to squeeze our glutes, press into the earth as we bring our hands to our thighs and slowly rise. Walking our feet back in, having that block nearby. Going to move into our warrior series. So I'm going to shift my knees to the right of the chair. Hand comes to the back. And again, our warrior series can always be done standing as well. And I like to place my knee on the block, but if you don't have a block, it'll just hang in the air, it's fine. You're supported by your chair. And once we find our warrior stance, inhaling that arm up top. Our gaze may follow. Belly is firm. If comfortable doing so, we can add that other arm. Inhaling and lengthening. Returning that back arm to the back of the chair. As we open into a warrior two legs, we may need to adjust our stance. And our arms come out to the side. Anchoring through the knife edge of that back foot. Hips are open to the front of me, I guess. So rolling the shoulders back and down. Tension from fingertips to fingertips. Shoulders stacked over our hips as we look out over that middle finger and breathe. Turning to reverse warrior, we're going to reach forward just to elongate the spine before we turn the palm up. That back arm can be rested anywhere on that back thigh, or you can bring it behind for a little extra if you'd like. Inhale, we reach to lengthen, exhaling back into warrior two arms. Bringing our hands down to the chair as we walk our feet back center. And from here, we're going to move to the other side. So we're going to walk our feet over, sitting up nice and tall, finding that warrior one, which essentially is like a lunge in this practice. Finding ourselves stable and firm, sitting upright. Inhaling, arm up overhead, adding that second arm if we feel safe doing so. Lifting our gaze, firming our abdominals. Breathing, noticing the expansion of the chest. And moving into our warrior two, we can bring that hand down to the back of the chair as well. Once again, finding our warrior two legs and bringing our hands out to the side. Again, rolling our shoulders, stacking our shoulders over our hips. Imagine lightning bolts coming out the fingertips. Breathing in our warrior two, feeling strong. Again, we'll lengthen, reaching, coming into our reverse warrior. Noticing the opening of the side body and noticing the breath and how that changes our sensation in the side of the body that's open. And we'll return to our warrior two. Bring our hands to our thighs, heel toe our feet back center. Finding ourselves back in our seated mountain. Taking a moment here in our seated mountain, maybe closing the eyes, checking in with the body. And just noticing how the body might feel a little different than it did at the beginning of class. Reconnecting with our breath. We'll open our eyes as we move into our pigeon. We may want to move our block out of the way. Or our books, whatever we were using. So maybe we cross our foot, and that's going to give us a little stretch here through our piriformis. It's that deep muscle in the buttocks that can sometimes be a pain. Or we can bring that foot to cross over the top of just beyond, in front of the knee. And sitting up nice and tall, feeling nice openness in the hip. And this could be plenty of sensation for many of us. But if you're looking for more, inhaling, we lengthen, and exhale, we sink. Sinking the heart towards the floor, keeping the neck in line with the spine. Going to your point of resistance, listening to your body. Keeping our long spine. If we have folded over, we come out. And we'll release that leg down, and we'll move to the other side. Again, we may simply want to cross our feet, and that'll be plenty. We may want to cross the ankle over the thigh. And still making sure that we're grounded in that bottom foot, sitting up nice and tall, anchored in our sit bones. So we hinge from the hips, letting the chest move towards the floor or towards the shin, calf. And rising up. We'll place our feet on the mat as we come into our seated mountain. We're going to let our left ear fall gently towards our left shoulder. Relaxing through that shoulder, relaxing through both shoulders, really. Bringing the head back center. Letting the opposite ear fall towards that shoulder. Releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders. And go ahead, come back center. And we'll bring the chin towards the chest, tucking the chin slightly, really opening through the back of the neck. Really important to let those shoulders release here. And gently bringing our head back center, looking towards our right shoulder, looking towards our left. Returning center, sitting nice and tall. We're going to move into a twist, twisting our rib cage, hips stay forward. By reaching that left arm to the back of the chair, the right arm to the opposite thigh. Last to go is our gaze. So our head is following. We're trying not to lead with our eyes. Inhaling in our twist, we lengthen, and just as slow as we hopefully went into our twist, we will come out and move to the other side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting ribs, shoulders, and lastly, our gaze. Again, lengthening our spine before coming out of our twist. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, we're going to fold forward, allowing our rib cage to rest on our thighs. And the head can fall heavy here. Again, maybe turning it right and left, giving it a nod. We'll bring our hands to our thighs, press through our feet, squeezing our glutes as we rise. Sitting back into our chair for the best part of class, final relaxation. So finding any place that's comfortable, any position that's comfortable for you. If you're on the floor, it could be corpse pose. And using any props you need. Sometimes I like to have a pillow on my lap. Taking a few moments here to relax into the chair. If you're comfortable closing your eyes or softening the gaze. Taking a moment to feel the body. Returning to that scan where we begin in our toes and move up to the crown of our head, and just noticing, again without judgment, any sensations or feelings in the body. When we're done with our scan, cultivating some gratitude for the body we have, the breath we breathe. Perfect imperfection. And begin to relax, beginning in our toes and fingers, imagining a bright gold light beginning to travel, bringing relaxation into the hands and feet, to our wrists and ankles, traveling into the legs, allowing the muscles to fall heavy, to release from the bone, into the arms. This relaxing light flows into our torso, swirling, traveling into our shoulders, up the neck, and into our head. Our forehead is soft, the jaw is loose, cheeks are hollow. We release our tongue. Breathing in and out, natural and organic. We'll slowly begin to bring some movement into our hands and feet. Maybe take a nice deep breath in. Big exhale. And taking your time to open your eyes. And if we're lying down, I invite you to join me in seated position as we close our class with a breath together. Inhaling gratitude, exhaling compassion. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.